Hello everyone, welcome back to the Georgia Bassmaster channel. Today I'm going to be walking you guys a few of my crankbait fishing tips for summertime. It's not one of the things that I used to be super knowledgeable on, and I'm still learning every day. Crankbait fishing is fairly different and it'll wear you out if you don't have the right setup. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button and leave this video a like, because we're going to be going through lots of different types of crankbaits. Let me go ahead and introduce you guys to a few of these over here. So right here I have a bunch of Spro series. These are called the Little Johns, I believe. No, these are the Hunters. This is the Little John. This is the Hunter series. And the Little Johns are really good square bills, and they actually have a square type body. I already have one tied on, let me show it to you. See this square type body on this Little John? It's going to give a square bill more of an erratic type action, so that's a pretty good one. And the round square bills are going to have a little bit different type of action as well. Three big brands I use are Spro, which have Gamakatsu hooks, and then you have the KVD, which have the Strike King hooks. Those are pretty good. And of course, I like my Guggen flat bangers as well, but they all have a unique purpose: a round bill, a square bill, the body shape. That's maybe a video for another in-depth review, but let me go ahead and get you guys out. Basically, the point of this video is to figure out what depth your fish are hanging at. Most of the time here in Georgia, it is like 90 degrees every single day here. So the fish are really suspended. And the thing about suspended fish is if it's 25 foot deep in the water and the fish are 15 foot, if you're throwing a worm, you're beneath them. You're not going to catch them. You might be able to get them to come up on top water depending on the time of the day, but those fish are in between, right in the middle in the water column. That's really when these crankbaits shine. And if they're 15 foot, a square bill is not going to get it, because like that Little John I have behind me, or the Guggen bangers, those are all 3 to 5 foot deep diving cranks. So you're probably going to want like a 3XD to a 6XD Strike King crankbait. And in today's video, I'm going to be throwing this 5XD right here, shad pattern, because there's a lot of shad in my lake. And there's a few different ways you can throw it. You can chuck it and reel it. The way I like to do it is chunk it and just stop and go, stop, go. That's the way I like to do it. I found that they always hit it on the stop. Like when you crank it and then you stop, they'll come and smash it every time. So that's my favorite way to throw it. And probably most of the time, if you throw parallel with the bank rather than directly at the bank, it's usually better, unless there's a really good drop off going down the bank or a point. Points are key when it comes to crankbait fishing, because 90% of my fishing with a crankbait is on a point. Those are just a few tips, but let's go ahead without any further ado. I want to get you guys out on the lake. We're going to catch some fish and maybe do a little bit more tips while we're out there. So I'll see you guys on the lake here in just a second. Fish. 5XD. Got me one. Got two of them. I caught two fish. Nope. The other one was sitting right beside it. That's a nice spotted bass. I thought I had them both hooked. Did you see the other one?
Yeah, I've caught two spots at the same time.
Well, so have I, but I thought I had them both hooked. I guess the other one was just swimming beside it.
Yeah.
Either that or it got off. Come on. Spotted bass plus 5XD is not a good time. Keeping spots today, number one for the day. We ain't made it very far, but I knew there was some out there deep. Crankbait be the way to go. I could probably get him with a jig too, but crankbaiting is just so much faster. Number one for the 5XD. Putting in work. But I'm telling you, man, it's the right time of year, crankbaits is probably better than anything. especially if they're suspended. Like if they're 15 foot in 25, you're really not going to get them to bite with a worm or a jig, because you're going to be below them. If we see any fish on the radar and figure out what depth they're hanging, I'll know which crankbait to throw. Because I got a 3XD, a 5XD, a 6XD. I got everything between 3 and 22 foot covered. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, it's big. It's big. It's big. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. I see it. I see it. It's giant. It's giant. Oh no, I got it hooked on the side. I think it's a spotted bass. Oh man, that thing was pulling. Side hooked it. I think I missed an eye on my thing. I sure did. He ain't as big as I thought he was. I just hooked him in the side of the face.
I've seen a bunch of fish through here, so all I know, I'm still seeing it.
Man, that thing had me worried. You hook a spotted bass on the side of the face, I can get him with my lockers. Thing had me worried.
Yeah.
Man. Spotted bass number 2.
Yeah.
5XD. Fish number 2. He's got some red spots on his tail.
Yeah.
Put them in the live well. They all look like they spawned out for sure. Man. Dang, fool me.
8, 10, 11, 12.
So the old stop and go method I'm going, as soon as it lands, you burn it down there, stop, burn it. And they usually hit it on that pause. So basically it's just like 3 or 4 really quick cranks. And usually they slam it on that pause. Seems to be doing the best. Still 15 foot through here.
There's a bunch of fish in here.
Spotted bass.
Probably spots too.
Yep. I'm doing the old stop and go method, you know?
Yeah.
Reel it, stop, reel it, stop. Seems to be what they're liking.
Got it right here. I got another one up there too. I might put this one on.
Spot number 3. Mine goes probably deeper than that, but
Now this one here goes deep.
I'd give it a try. Yeah. Look at the bill on mine.
Huh?
Here's my 5XD bill.
Yeah.
It's a deep diver.
All right.
Yeah, they're pretty crazy. Got another one.
Yeah.
This one feels good. That's got to be a largemouth. I'm on not gonna horse him. He looked like he was barely hooked.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good one though.
Yeah.
You fought out yet? Pretty good large. Man, we done got on a point where I caught 3 bass on the same spot.
Yeah.
Piled up over here.
Yeah.
It's a chunk right there.
Yeah.
All right, bass number 4. It is a largemouth. First 3 were spotted bass. Pretty good one. Probably 2.5, pushing 3. It's got some fat in its belly. Short and fat though. But they've been hanging down there. I think my crankbait goes 12 to 15 foot. And what are they going? What's the depth of the fish on the radar?
They about 11, 12,
So
13 foot.
they're hanging 11 to 13 foot. So that crankbait is diving straight down to them. They're suspended, and sometimes when they're suspended, using worms and jigs on the bottom, they just won't bite it because it's not in their strike zone. But seems to be putting this crankbait right in front of them, using the old stop and go method's been doing pretty good. I might get a weight on this one real quick and then let him go. So let's figure out what it weighs and get back to fishing. This one is 2.78. Not a bad one. All right, everybody, got my dad pulling the trailer back to the ramp now. Gonna go ahead and see you guys back at the truck here in just a second and give you guys a quick recap. And I'll see you guys up at the truck. Thank you so much if you stuck around all the way to the end of this video. Headed to the house now, pulling away. But crankbaits are a really good way in the summertime to catch fish because, you know, pulling a jig or dragging a worm is very, very, very slow. And if you're a power fisherman like me, throw a crankbait. It's definitely a way to cover a lot of area, cover ground quickly. And when you get into a spot like you saw in the video, I caught 3 bass in one spot, actually back-to-back casts 3 times. So if you can find a good spot where they're at, crankbaits are really great. But maybe I'll do another crankbait video for you guys in the future if you guys liked it. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.